Hello, guys. I'm Mikael, and I am laughing because you know what? I'm sitting in front of you right now with the guitar, right? So in your head, you're like, "Oh my God, he plays the guitar too! Wow!" Hell no, I don't. No, I don't. Um, I'm a keyboard player. Okay, no one trained me to play the keyboard or anything like that. So I just sat down and learned it, and I am okay on it. Um, but this instrument right here is my favorite instrument. Yo, whenever I hear acoustic guitar players, I fall in love. I don't care if you're a guy or girl. If you do a good job on that, man, yo, you'll probably see me cry somehow. So listen, someone was selling this guitar online. That person was in Long Island, which is a little far away from me. I'm in Westchester, New York. So I drove from Westchester, New York to Long Island. And when I got to that person's house, I was like, "Why are you selling the guitar? It's in good condition. What's the reason?" He said, "Well, it was a gift to my girlfriend, and she doesn't play the guitar, and I don't play the guitar. This thing is just wasting space in my house, so I'm trying to get rid of it." I was like, "Oh, really? Okay, let me see." I went, I'm not a guitar player, so I just went like this. I was like, "Okay, I'll buy it. How much?" So we negotiated it, and I bought it. Man, when I came to my house, I was like, "Oh, now that I have this thing here, man, I don't want it to occupy space in my house either. So let me just learn the thing and see if I can put it in use." So I didn't know how much pain it would take to learn the guitar, right? So I'm like, nothing could come out. I don't know where to put my fingers. I don't know anything about frets, or I don't know anything about bridge, or I don't know knobs. And so I'm like, let me just flow with it and see what I get out of it, right? So I'm like, when I put my finger here, this finger is on a different string. I'm like, what's going on, right? So I started paying attention, and then I was doing just one string like this with with the thumb, right? I was going like this with one finger, and then I was doing the same thing with the other fingers until I get to use all of them. I started to notice that my fingertips were on fire. I was like, "Oh no, I am not gonna learn this thing, man. I don't get that pain when I'm playing the keyboard. No, how do you guys do it?" So I was like, "No, there has to be a better way, right?" So I'm like, "What is the quickest way for me to get through the pain and learn this thing?" So I took four of my fingers, right? I went like this and I put pressure, and every day for like an hour or two, I was going like this. Press it. It's like I was cutting my skin. I was like, "Ugh." Was it painful? Yeah, hell yeah. I went through pain. I was like, "Oh my God." I look at my fingertips, calluses there was a lot of marks, man. I was getting calluses and everything. Man, I kept on going like this. Every day, every day, every day. After 3 weeks of doing this, I didn't even touch this hand yet. I'm just doing this so that, next time I touch a string, I don't have any pain. I was doing this. After 3 weeks, I noticed that, my fingertips were getting harder and harder and harder. So the harder they are, the less pain you feel, right? So I was like, "Oh yeah." So let's start learning some scales. Now here comes another problem. I don't know this. I don't know the scales on the key on the guitar. I don't know what anything is. So I was just guessing. So I was like, okay. So if I don't know where the notes are, at least let's get my fingers comfortable, right? So I was doing this. I was doing that every day, every day, every day until I get speed, right? Until now I can get it right, right? So I'm still working on that, right? And I was doing it backward. I can do it. You know what I mean? I'm still struggling, but I did finally get it. All right. So I'm like, okay, now that you have this, let's go back to this. More pin, right? So that my fingers don't get lazy on me. And I said, okay, let's learn the scale. Let's try to learn the scale. You know, I was trying to learn everything, you know, in such a short period of time. It wasn't helping. But I am already a musician. I'm a keyboard player. I'm like, no, let's get this thing done so that we could start jamming, right? So I said, what are the scales? So I found a sheet of music, showed me where to put my fingers, and I started doing this. Right? So I was doing that throughout. Well, see, I can get it. But guess what? One day I will get this thing. I don't care. It doesn't matter what it takes. I will get it done. All right. So I was doing that every day. So, and then I was like, well, okay, now that you got this, right? So learn some chords. Now I'm learning chords, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so awkward. That hurts. Oh my God, how do I do this? I referred to the sheet of music. It told me where to put my fingers, and you know where I was comfortable. The sheet was telling me my fingers were on the wrong position. I'm like, I don't care what you're saying. This is easier for me. That's what I'm doing. You know, that's not the right way of thinking things, right? But I'm like, no, I gotta get this thing done. So I was comfortable in the key of E. So I was like, things weren't coming out too clear, right? It was muffled and blah blah blah, and buzzing all over the place until I get okay. Now that I have that, I'm like, okay, let's jam on that. Okay? And then I was like, no, you can't just use one chord. Or you gotta find at least in a progression, you need the one, you need the two, you need the five, you know, you need the four. If you have those four, then you'll be good, you know. As long as you know the quality of the two and the five, you should be set. Okay? I was like, okay, so I'm in E, right? Where is the fourth of E? It's A, right? So I'm like, where is A? I couldn't find A until finally I found this. I was like, yep, that's enough. I don't care. This is not a full regular A, but that's enough. That sounds good enough. So I was like, okay, now I have E and A. This sounds like a say A sus or something. I didn't care. And I'm like, okay, now that you have A, okay, you have 1 and 4, you need 5. And you know, in 5, you need a 5/7. So what how are you gonna do this? So in E, the 5/7 is B7, right? So I'm like, oh my God, how am I gonna do this thing? Oh, I referred to the sheet again. The sheet told me, oh, you gotta put your finger like this, but then nothing could come out, right? Nothing could come out. I was pressing, nothing could come out until I get. So that's the B7. So now I have E. I have the A sus, and I have the B7, right? I'm like, something is missing. It's either I need a 2 there or the sharps, you know, the 6th chord, right? Which is the C sharp, right? I'm like, where is C sharp? I can't find C sharp. I went to the sheet again, and then I got this. Right? So I'm like, okay, so I have 1, 4, 5, and 6. I said, yeah, let's try to create a progression now. And then I started doing. And then, see, I can do it. I'm not a guitar player, man. But you know what? Guys, if you are a guitar player, give me some tips down there, all right? Give me some quality tips. Give me some lessons so I could learn this thing. But so far, if I were to fake it, I would do like this. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sliding my fingers, right? That's me faking it. It still sounds good, right? If I were to do this to you every day, would you think that I don't play the guitar? you'll be a liar if you say, yeah, I would think you don't play the guitar, because this sounds like professional. It's buzzing, but you know, if I do it right, or guys, I will keep you up to date. All right, every time I am playing the guitar, I'll record something so that you can see the progress. All right, leave your comment below, tell me what I'm doing wrong, tell me what I need to do, that way I can get this thing going. All right, peace out, give me a thumbs up, ciao.